Hello and welcome to Tapestry, Global Detroit's 10th anniversary celebration. I'm TATI AMARE and I'm honored to be your host this evening as we reflect on Global Detroit's 10 years of building a more vibrant and inclusive Southeast Michigan, and of course look forward to the next decade. Global Detroit's work is so meaningful to all of us, especially me as an immigrant living in Detroit, to see how they are building what I've seen in other cities, which are strong, successful small businesses, rich and diverse cultural life for everyone to enjoy. We certainly miss being with you in person, but we're happy to be gathered together virtually. We especially are pleased this year. Thanks to your generosity, we are able to provide 6 immigrant-owned neighborhood restaurants in Detroit and Hamtramck with small grants. These small business owners have given so much to us and our communities. We're so glad to be able to give back to them. You'll meet those restaurant owners at the end of our program. And in just a few minutes, we'll honor businesses and community leaders with our Inclusive Economies Award. But first, let's take a quick look back at where Southeast Michigan was before Global Detroit officially launched in 2010 and how much our region has accomplished since that time. Then we'll hear from Global Detroit's Executive Director, Steve TOBOCMAN, who will share what we can expect in the next 10 years.
In the 2000s, Michigan was suffering. We were the only state to lose population in the 2010 census, and the New York Times called us ground zero in the nation's economic downturn. In 2010, Global Detroit launched with a landmark study demonstrating the powerful role immigrants play in strengthening Southeast Michigan's communities and our economy. Today, Global Detroit is a national leader in advancing strategies to create equitable economic growth through immigrant inclusion. We're proud of all the ways we and our many partners have contributed to a more inclusive and prosperous city, region, and state. Through the work of Welcoming Michigan, we are home to 22 welcoming communities, the most in the U.S. Both the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit have opened offices devoted to global talent and immigrant affairs. And in both 2018 and 2020, the new American Economy City Index named Detroit a top 10 welcoming city for immigrants. The Global Talent Retention Initiative has helped fill our region's high skills talent gap, connecting more than 100 employers with more than 4,000 international students who are ready to work in Southeast Michigan. And Michigan International Talent Solutions, in the Office of Global Michigan, helps high-skilled immigrants return to their professional fields. Michigan is a national leader in skilled immigrant integration programs. More than 20,000 companies and more than 1 million employees are represented by the industry groups and chambers that have signed the Michigan Compact for Immigration. The Compact calls for smart immigration policies that recognize the critical role immigrants play in driving our economy forward. With global EIR programs at the University of Michigan and Wayne State, international founders are launching their high-growth startups in Southeast Michigan. And more than 1,200 entrepreneurs have completed the Prosper Us training and lending program, which has helped more than 300 small businesses open. Most are immigrant and minority entrepreneurs. Immigrants are also stabilizing neighborhoods across Detroit by buying homes and raising families here. Between 2013 and 2017, Detroit's immigrant population grew 8%. Through immigrant inclusion, we're creating a vibrant city and thriving global region with strong neighborhoods, healthy families, competitive companies, successful small businesses, and a rich and diverse cultural life. We're creating a Detroit and Southeast Michigan that is equitable and prosperous for all.
Hi, I'm Steve TOBOCMAN, Global Detroit's founder and executive director. And I'm so pleased that so many of you have joined to celebrate 10 years of building a more vibrant and inclusive Southeast Michigan. First, some thank yous, and please stay through the credits so that you can see all the wonderful names. I want to thank all our sponsors, our honorary committee. These folks have been with us since the very beginning and have helped shape who we are. All our awardees and grantees, who you will meet shortly, the Global Detroit staff and board, and of course all of you for joining us tonight. 10 years ago, John Austin and the New Economy Initiative approached me about building a more immigrant inclusive economy. Back then, there weren't many models of how community leaders, chambers, state and local government, economic development agencies, foundations, and private businesses, and other passionate advocates could make that happen. In fact, there really wasn't much of a conversation about the economic contributions of immigrants in Michigan on any level. You heard from the video how much has changed in the last decade here in Detroit, across Southeast Michigan, and across our state. Today, we are recognized as a national leader in this emerging and practice of building a more immigrant inclusive economy. We couldn't have done that without a lot of partners. So tonight, let's celebrate all the programs and milestones that together we've built over this past decade. During the pandemic and over the past 6 months in particular, I'm proud and amazed of how the team at Global Detroit has responded to the COVID crisis. We have created and shared critical information on testing, health and safety, stimulus payment, Paycheck Protection Program loans, small business grants, worker safety and voting, all across our region to immigrant communities who often lacked access to such critical information. We have helped immigrant small businesses obtain grants and undocumented Detroiters get critical resources. Today, our work is more important than ever. In the coming months, we look forward to issuing more groundbreaking research on the impacts that rapid immigration growth has had in the Bonglatown and Chadsey-Condon neighborhoods of Detroit and Hamtramck, where we have documented that all residents, including African Americans, enjoy much higher quality of life. We are working closely with Governor Whitmer's administration and the Office of Global Michigan on building the nation's most inclusive workforce skill attainment system through the 60 by 30 initiative, including building new inclusive models for our community colleges, as well as fostering more inclusive hiring practices among Michigan's companies. We will be intensifying our support for families and small business owners and Detroit's immigrant neighbors. They play a vital role in our region's economic recovery, and we will make sure that they are meaningfully included in our recovery efforts. And now that Wayne State University has joined the University of Michigan in utilizing our Global Entrepreneurs in Residence program to help immigrant startup communities, we will launch a regional initiative to make Michigan a global tech startup hub that opens the American dream to global talent, international student founders, and other startups. But these Global Detroit programs are only the tip of the iceberg. To fully realize our vision, we need to change the experience of immigrants, international students, refugees, and their children living in our region. We need to create a true sense of belonging, and we need that sense of inclusion to extend to more than just immigrants and refugees, but to our entire community. Black Detroiters, third and fourth generation Latinx residents downrivers, white working class families in Macomb County, everyone. America is at a crossroads when it comes to federal immigration policy, and much rides on this November's election. A decade ago, our region faced some tough times, but Global Detroit represents a choice that community leaders like the New Economy Initiative and the Detroit Regional Chamber made to invest. It was a choice between building inclusion. Regardless of the outcome of the election, our nation, our region, and our city have benefited from rapid immigration growth, and their integration and inclusion is not only the right thing to do from a humanitarian perspective, it is the pathway to prosperity for everyone in our city and our region. When we choose inclusion, we choose a pathway that has been the foundational element of every great city in America, bringing diverse populations, diverse thought, and diverse talent together. We know that no U.S. city has reversed population loss and disinvestment that Detroit has suffered without strong immigration growth. And when we choose inclusion, we choose to honor and support business owners like Basil, Bacall, Ashok, Seetharam, and Gias Talukder, who are receiving awards tonight, as well as the 6 immigrant restaurant owners who we are supporting tonight. When we choose inclusion, we choose prosperity. Part of building an inclusive region requires changing the narrative and building a welcoming environment for everyone, for all of us. We have had tremendous success in that work with welcoming Michigan, but there are so many more that we have not yet reached. Part of building an inclusive region requires changing systems and institutions and building new inclusive practices, policies, and programs in the private sector, in business groups, in universities, in philanthropy, in the nonprofit sector, and in local government. And while we have seen impacts of our efforts among Detroit's entrepreneurship, service providers, we have only just begun. And part of building an inclusive region requires that Global Detroit infuse race equity into every aspect of our work and being, at all levels, the personal, team, institutional, programmatic, and communal. Inclusion begins with and depends upon racial equity and an end to racism, racist practices, and racial injustice. Those working for a more immigrant inclusive economy and more welcoming community need to be addressing these issues head on. So tonight, let's celebrate all that we have accomplished together over this first 10 years. And we look forward to working on all that lays before us in the next 10 years. The moment of opportunity has never been more at hand.
Wow, thank you, Steve. There's more work to be done, but our region has come so far in 10 years. And much of that is due to the 5 people you are about to meet. The Inclusive Economy Awards go to members of our community who are really moving the needle on creating a vibrant and inclusive region. Presenting our first award is Millie Chu, Global Detroit's Vice President of Global Entrepreneurship and STEM Talent, who will present tonight's Emerging Talent Award.
Ashok Seetharam is a native of India with a graduate degree in biomedical engineering from Brown University. Ashok founded PAXAFE, an IoT company for intelligent shipping insurance, with Ilya Preston in 2018. The company is Ashok's third startup. He first licensed his technology to a major orthopedics manufacturer. Despite all his success, Ashok was at risk of having to leave the U.S. unless he could obtain an H-1B visa. I'm proud to say that Ashok was able to obtain that visa as the first founder accepted into our global EIR program. A partnership with a national nonprofit, Global EIR, places foreign-born startup founders at the University of Michigan and Wayne State University to teach and mentor while they launch their startups here in Michigan. PAXAFE moved from Milwaukee to Ann Arbor in 2019. That same year, the company closed a $650,000 round of pre-seed funding, bringing their total raise that year to almost $1 million. They began piloting their product and are hiring for new positions. We're especially proud that PAXAFE recently hired one of our own Global Talent Accelerator graduates. For starting his business, creating jobs, and strengthening the economy in Southeast Michigan, I am pleased to honor Ashok Seetharam with this year's Emerging Talent Award.
Wish this was happening in person. Would have been a great picture for my dating profile. Thank you, Steve, Melly, and the whole team at Global Detroit. This is a huge recognition. It really means a lot for me. Like every immigrant entrepreneur, I came to the US to pursue the dream of starting a business from scratch. I was lucky to have found the problem that I wanted to get behind, as well as an amazing co-founder who shared the same vision. June 2019, 10 months since starting PAXAFE, my H-1B visa was denied and I was left with no choice but to leave the country. While looking for an alternate option, I was fortunate to meet the team at Global Detroit as they were setting up the Global EIR program along with the University of Michigan's Economic Growth Institute. As I explained the situation to the team, they were quick to move to action. They accommodated my tight timeline as well as fast-tracked the whole process in helping me secure a visa to continue pursuing my dream of building a startup in the US. If not for the Global EIR program, it would have been really challenging to close our first round of funding, which happened late last year, as well as grow our team from 2-person to a team of 10 within the last 12 months. I would also like to express my gratitude to both the William Davidson Foundation, as well as the team at Global Detroit and the Economic Growth Institute for their continued support. And finally, would like to extend my thanks to my parents for their continued encouragement, as well as my co-founder, really for his patience and agreeing to take this journey along with me as I figure out both the entrepreneurial side as well as the immigration side. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Philippi, Board Chair for Global Detroit, here to provide the Immigrant Impact Award to Basil Bacall. Basil arrived in Metro Detroit as a refugee in 1982 at the age of 17. After learning English, he received his GED and ultimately earned a degree from the Thomas Edison State University. Prior to becoming a developer of fine hotels, Basil was one of the youngest Chaldeans ever to work as a pilot for a major airline. Today, his company, Elite Hospitality Group, co-owns 22 hotels and other real estate properties and employs more than 1,000 people in Michigan. But Basil is most proud of an organization he founded in 2007. Adopt a Refugee Family has helped 600,000 displaced families, mostly persecuted Christians from Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. We had the honor of profiling Basil for our original Global Detroit study. And today, for his many contributions to Southeast Michigan and for his commitment to leveraging his success to help others, we are delighted to present Basil with our Immigrant Impact Award.
Hello, I'm humbled and honored by this award and recognition. I would like to thank God, Jesus Christ, my family and friends for their love and support over the years. I'm especially thankful for all the wonderful people who have helped me along the way in my journey. I am especially thankful to Global Detroit for their leadership in promoting and executing strategies for economic growth, which includes immigrants. And congratulations on a 10-year of being a leader in this arena. Impacting people is one thing, but making a positive impact is what I strive for every day. And I hope you join in me in helping as many people as we can every day in our life, especially those who are less fortunate and do not have as many opportunities. And let's face it, we all need help from time to time through our life. I would like to dedicate this award for everyday immigrants who have come, especially those who have come from troubled regions in turbulent times, traveled through so many dangerous paths, navigated through so many difficulties, including learning a new language, acclimating to a new culture, new traditions, and yet, despite all these challenges, they persevered and succeeded. This award belongs to them. My message is, for every person who's facing difficulties, immigrant or not, young or old, regardless of the background, work hard, 60, 70 hours a week, do whatever it takes. Stay focused on the Lord and on your goals. Endure, and God will bless you and your family abundantly. Thank you for this great recognition. May God bless you and bless this great nation built by immigrants over time from around the world. Thank you.
In 2009, when John Austin was head of the New Economy Initiative, he asked me to help NEI think through the ways to make our regional economy more immigrant inclusive. I had no idea what he meant or what that might look like back then, but we decided to begin the best way we both knew how, with the data. The Global Detroit study demonstrated the outsized role that immigrants play in Southeast Michigan's economy and detailed 11 initiatives to make our regional economy more welcoming, more inclusive, and more prosperous. I'm proud to say that today, nearly all of those initiatives have not only been implemented, but are thriving. And Global Detroit has gone on to launch other pioneering programs and conduct more groundbreaking research. And NEI has been with us all the way. They are our largest and most consistent funder. And we're not alone. Detroit was recently singled out in the New York Times for having one of the most robust entrepreneurship support ecosystems in the nation. And very deservedly, NEI was credited with being the backbone of that ecosystem. We'd be here all night if I were to talk about all the ways NEI has helped strengthen our region's economy over the last decade, and how much, under Pam Lewis's leadership, NEI has been a champion for equity and inclusion. Tonight, I'm honored to recognize their unparalleled leadership in supporting immigrant-owned businesses and for consistently championing the vital role of immigrants in building a more vibrant and prosperous Detroit and Southeast Michigan. It's with deep gratitude and great pleasure that I present this year's Global Detroit Champion Award to Pam Lewis, Executive Director of the New Economy Initiative.
Thank you so much for this Global Detroit Champion Award. It's such an honor to receive it. Organizations that can celebrate 10 years begin with individuals who are innovative and committed leaders. And Global Detroit was fortunate enough to have Steve TOBOCMAN. I know this is about Global Detroit's 10th anniversary, but it's also very much about Steve and the vision he brought to organizations like the Skillman Foundation, Detroit Regional Chamber, and NEI to get on board and invest in and support this list of initiatives that so many didn't fully understand at the time. The initial study that led to the creation of Global Detroit has changed the way the state and local communities look at the immigrant community. Whether it was directly impacted or just inspired by Global Detroit, there are now over 20 communities that have signed on to be welcoming Michigan communities. The city of Detroit developed an Office of Immigrant Affairs, and 2 governors have embraced the impact of the statewide Office of Global Michigan. The initiatives from the initial study have also raised and activated innovative talent and economic development strategies. They demonstrated the need for greater support for immigrant populations in our region. Because Steve knew, and now we all do, that immigrant entrepreneurs are critical contributors. They foster a more robust and inclusive regional economy for us all. You know the reports. Immigrants are likely to start a business at 3 times the rate of other groups in America. And much like other marginalized groups, whether you're Black, Latinx, or women, they can also face considerable barriers in getting access to capital, assistance, and more importantly, those social networks that accelerate an entrepreneur's success. You know, accelerating entrepreneurs and small business owners' success has been the business of NEI for years. We've supported many nonprofits that provide various points of entry to capital, resources, practical assistance, and spaces. Inclusion has always been the heart of our work, making sure any individual, whether they're a woman, a person of color, or immigrant, has access to exactly what they need to build that individual wealth, activate community corridors, and grow the economy. I met Steve when I joined NEI 10 years ago. Sam Singh was managing the great strategy for Global Detroit effort for NEI at that time. And when I think of the great work of Global Detroit, whether through their global talent retention program that worked tirelessly to ensure that immigrant STEM talent could find jobs, or working closely with NEI to translate our business idea competition collateral into 5 different languages, or working directly with small business owners who have English as their second language to complete applications for funding. I am so humbled and honored to be a recipient of this award from Global Detroit, because it really is their work and the work of others like them that deserve the accolades. These are the community leaders diligently serving small underserved business owners in our region to ensure that these businesses survive and grow, because they are the difference in the economy and in our communities. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on your 10 years.
There are few business leaders in Michigan more active than Beth Ardisana. Beth is the co-founder, principal, owner, and chief executive officer of ASG Renaissance, a technical and communication services firm with more than 250 employees in 4 offices worldwide. She was the first woman elected chair of the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and has served in other volunteer leadership roles for the MEDC, Michigan Strategic Fund, Skillman Foundation, Mott Foundation, Detroit Chamber, Focus Hope, and more, often shattering glass ceilings as the first Latina in those leadership roles. She holds master's degrees in business administration and mechanical engineering, as well as a bachelor's in mathematics and computer science. Prior to launching ASG Renaissance, Beth was an engineer at Ford Motor Company. Beth served on the original Global Detroit Study Advisory Board and has remained a valued partner and advisor to us ever since. For her 10 years of insight at Global and support at Global Detroit and her many decades of civic, economic, business, and community leadership in Southeast Michigan, we are pleased to honor Beth Ardisana with our Corporate Leadership Award.
Thank you very much for this incredible award. I really appreciate it, but mostly I appreciate all that Global Detroit has been able to do over the last 10 years. Steve TOBOCMAN and the team have really worked hard to make us a more welcoming, a more inclusive community, and they've done a great job of doing that. As I stand here today, I think about my grandparents. My grandparents had the courage to emigrate from their home countries, which were Sweden and Cuba, and come to the United States. If they hadn't done that, if they hadn't had the courage and tenacity to come here, I wouldn't be standing here today with this great award. So I look and say things like Global Detroit have really made a difference in our communities. I mean, not only do they provide opportunities for me and my family, they make our country better, they make us more interesting, they make our communities more vibrant. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to work with Global Detroit and provide jobs and opportunities in this community. So thank you for the award, and thank you, Global Detroit.
Gias Talukder's career in auto sales began when he bought a car with a hole in the roof, something he finally learned when it rained. But the purchase of that car in Florida led to the purchase of a few others and led to a few more. He was hooked, realizing the warm climate in Florida did not lend itself to used car sales. Gias moved to Hamtramck and opened Bengal Auto Sales in 2015. Knowing the reputation of used car sales people in the US, he has worked hard to earn the trust of the entire community, and he has succeeded. Gias is the secretary of Bangladeshi American Business Association of Michigan and chair of the 13th district of the Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus. He also runs a hunger relief nonprofit and a housing rehab business, and he has donated more than 30 cars to community events. On top of all this, he is a true community resource, helping his neighbors find insurance, get immigration help, and even buy homes. Oh, and his one-man operation sold 300 cars in 2019. For showing us what it really means to be a neighborhood business, I am honored to present this year's Community Entrepreneur Award to Gias Talukder of Bengal Auto Sales.
Thanks to Global Detroit for the award that was given to me and to my company, Bengal Auto Sale LLC. I actually came to this country back in 1998 in New York. Then I moved to Florida, and I was working in a pharmacy as a pharmacy tech. And later on, when my brother came to Florida back in 2009, he wanted a car, and I had no idea about buying or selling a car. So I went to buy a car, and the car that I purchased for him actually had a hole in the roof. And that was actually the turning point for my life in business. And in Florida, businesses were not very good due to the weather was very good. And I was thinking, researching where I can actually do better with the used car business. And I have actually found out Detroit is the best place to move to become a used car dealer and most selling used car city in the United States, I believe. Then I moved to Michigan back in mid of 2013 and started my business. But later on, when I came to Michigan, I was so fond of people of Michigan, people of Detroit and Hamtramck, that led me towards the community rather than being a fond of businessman. I started loving people here. They started loving me. I started doing a lot of community job here, community work, and it led me to start doing a lot of works that I have never done in my life before. And I was very much involved in a lot of volunteering activity. Helping people is one of the greatest things that always in my mind, like anybody that is less fortunate than I am, and I would like to help them, lift them up as much as I could in my ability. And as an immigrant, I would say people that comes to this country in the United States always bring something good too. You know, they always adds up something that we didn't know. So we as an immigrant, when we come to this country of opportunity, we bring something good and we add this to the people of United States, and together we build up something great. And I would say immigrants is one of the best thing that happened to the United States from day one when they started coming in here. And as a businessman, I have been helping community randomly back and forth with even during the pandemic. When our business was like shut down completely, I have not stayed one day at home, just started helping this community what they need day to day, like as far as concerning the health issue. And we have helped a lot of emergency worker. If they have a breakdown on their cars or anything like that, we have helped them, commuting them to the hospital or to the place wherever they needed to go, give them shopping, took them groceries and stuff like that. So this helps, actually makes us feel good, like you can be a part of the community. And I hope I can stay like that for the rest of my life. And lastly, I thank again to Mr. Mohit for his introduction to the Global Detroit, and to Rizal Kareem to the Global Detroit. I love it. I was very happy receiving this award as a community business entrepreneur. Thank you. Thank you, Global Detroit, for having me.
Thank you, Gias. You are truly an inspiration to all of us. And thank you to our awardees for all that you do to make Southeast Michigan more inclusive and more vibrant. Now I'm pleased to welcome longtime Global Detroit board member Tim Gilson.
Global Detroit's been particularly important to me and my family because we see the great impact that immigrants have on Southeast Michigan. What an incredible evening this has been. We originally planned to celebrate our 10th anniversary with all of you at the Jam Handy. We were going to have music and dancing and food from some really great immigrant-owned restaurants. When we had to change our plans, we wanted to make sure we found a really nice way to continue to support those small businesses. So in a minute, you'll meet 6 business owners from Detroit and Hamtramck who, thanks to your sponsorships, ticket purchases, and donations, will be receiving $500 grants each this evening to help support their establishments. All of these restaurants are currently open, and I encourage you to visit or order takeout from them. Before I introduce our grant recipients, I want us all to take a minute to reflect on the incredible impact Global Detroit has really had over this last decade. It's been an amazing evening tonight to revisit all the ways we've helped to strengthen Detroit's immigrant neighborhoods, helped build our bench of global talent, and helped counter the myths and misinformation with solid factual data and stories about the tremendous contributions that immigrant families and business owners make right here in Southeast Michigan. Your support powers this work. I want to thank all of you who purchased a benefactor ticket tonight or who made a donation of any other size. You've made our 10 years of impact possible. If you've not yet had a chance to give, it's not too late. Please visit globaldetroitmi.org/donate right now. Your contribution truly makes a difference. So if you believe in this work, I hope you'll show your support tonight. Now, I'm excited for you to meet 6 very special people. Their restaurants have kept our neighborhoods and our city going, even through these incredibly challenging times, and we are deeply honored to have a chance to give back to them. Now it's my pleasure to present small business support grants to the following restaurants: Kabob House, Maty's, Norma Gias, Pollo Chapin, Shangri-La, and Yemen Cafè. Congratulations to all of this year's recipients.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you to all our grantees, awardees, and sponsors. And thank you to you for joining us tonight to celebrate 10 years of building a vibrant, inclusive Detroit and Southeast Michigan.